best fans in the world. So, it's another one of them times, preview, review. We're live from Oakwell. We've got a point to this though, so don't just think the game's at the Riverside. What have you done turning up at Oakwell? We know that. We haven't took a wrong left. So, I'm Foxy, we all know that by now. That's Rob on camera. Hiya, Rob.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I've got over the flu, thanks for asking, Rob. Cheers, yeah. Terrible, terrible. Thanks for all the Beecham's people sent me in, by the way, I really appreciated that. So, we've got to do a preview on the Barnsley game tomorrow, up and coming, and also we're going to have a quick chat about Birmingham. To be honest, we've had a bit of this season where there hasn't really been much to talk about in the previous game, and you've all seen the highlight by now, and it was a highlight, singular. So, we did what we had to do really, didn't we? We've got the points, we've got out of there, nothing flash at all. Traore did what he needed to do, one set piece, assist, again Bamford scoring a goal, we kind of said that, little flick off Shotton, but that was it really. Ayala got man of the match, which tells you everything you need to know. Realistically, they were always going to fight tooth and nail. I don't know whether Gary Monk had that much of an influence. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But every game for them's a battle now. Like I say, they've just been beaten off Forest before they played us, so they really needed those 3 points. And they didn't look a bad team. They didn't look like a team that are down where they should be. They've played like that for Cotterill this season. So again, we didn't understand the Monk change, but football is what it is. It's a fickle old sport, isn't it? We all know that. But yeah, we did what we had to do. Shotton had a decent game. Like I say, Ayala got man of the match. It was a defensive display. We sat back, we were quite deep after we scored the goal second half. That's not something that I want to see, especially in the Championship. Surely guys were better than that. We should be attacking teams really. But yeah, so we did what we had to do. So that really pretty much is the end of that. And we're going to have a chat about Barnsley. One other quick thing, actually, that I was going to mention was set pieces. We're very shaky off set pieces still. We're scoring off set pieces. Tony Pulis, out of his 319 Premiership goals that he had for his teams collectively, 157 of them were from set pieces, corners, free kicks. So that tells you everything we need to know about that. We need to be capitalising on these because it doesn't look like we're creating much in other situations. The goal we scored the other night was off a corner, so maybe that's going in the right direction. A couple of other things really that I was going to talk about. We are now in a position where we've got to play all the teams around us, which is a good thing. Although we've only taken 2 points off the teams above us in the top 6 this season. So, but again, that majority of those games are under Monk. So again, we've got a bit of a fresher, positive outlook. But these are teams now where we need to be taking maximum points off. Every game's a 6-pointers. The other thing that I was going to say is we have actually got a bit of a nucleus in that team now, a bit of an experience to be in this position. You guys all remember when we went up under Karanka, we went 10 unbeaten at this part of the season after a debacle at Charlton when he walked out. But we then went 10 unbeaten. Now we've got the nucleus of that squad still in there. Gibson, Ayala, Friend. Howson hasn't played in that era, but he's gone up with Norwich. And also we've got Ledbetter in there as well. So really we've got the experience, plus Tony Pulis has taken Stoke out of there. So really when we haven't taken points off the teams above us, we should really have the ability and the experience to be able to deal in these games and take maximum points now. And as we say every season, the team puts a run together in the Championship. Let's hope that this is us and it isn't actually going to be Preston who are just behind us. Realistically, above all those other teams that are chasing with us, Sheffield United, Bristol City, Preston and Brentford, they're all teams really that haven't got experience of being there. Alex O'Neill's taken up Norwich, but Preston haven't really experienced this before. Bristol City haven't experienced this before. Obviously, they came up from League One last year, and they've really played out with the skins, let's be honest. But then so have Sheffield United under Chris Wilder. But maybe these teams are hitting a sort of apex now. They're hitting the ceiling. Like I say, so hopefully our run can take us through into the Premiership. Whatever my feelings are on that, I won't get bogged down on that. So, let's talk about the Barnsley game tomorrow. We're here with Luke. How are you, Luke?
Hey mate, you alright?
You alright?
Yeah.
Foxy and also Luke.
Luke, nice to meet you.
It's not an optical illusion. We're going to have a quick chat with these guys about their season, what they think they've done so far, what they think about the game on Saturday, what they think about us. So, guys, where are we at then? So, do you want to have a little chat about the game coming up?
Yeah, can do.
What need out of that, and obviously it's a 6-pointer for you guys too.
I think ideally 3 points. It's a massive ask. I can't see it personally. Not to be negative, because I don't like being negative.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing Tykes TV. You kind of got to sit up fence. You know what I mean? You've got to be optimistic and realistic.
Yeah.
But I think going up to Middlesbrough, you know, I think you have a little bit of form. I think unbeaten in 4.
We've just got our home form right under Pulis, which maybe if you'd have played us November time at home, I would be studying saying to you maybe 3 points would be could happen, but I just don't know.
See, even when he first came in, he was still quite inconsistent.
We've only just picked that up. We've won 7 out of 14 under Pulis with only 2 draws, but we'd struggled to put 2 wins together. Again, I know I'm slightly going back to the game on against Birmingham on Tuesday, but we have this thing where we can't seem to put a good performance together. More than one game, which is frustrating too. But so
we've got this thing where we can't put a good performance in for 90 minutes.
Right.
We seem to be able to do it when it's too late. Do you know what I mean? Like in a game, either we're really good first half and then second half we drift off, or first half we're poor, we're good 2-0 down, say, and then second half we come out and we play weight games a bit too far.
But you're not a very defensive setup, are you? You like to play football, as you said.
Well, I think under
trying to grow something, aren't you? Well, Heckingbottom had a style, but you guys were talking to me off camera about how that was a Lee Johnson team, really.
Yeah.
So what have you haven't really seen the best of what your team can do under another manager since you've come up properly?
I think this season it's been with a lot of people who've come onto my channel have said it, that this has been a season where Heckingbottom, we lost a lot of players last season in January and in summer, so he's had to build this team. This is a team that he's built, and they didn't seem to be able to get going, if you know what I mean.
A bit like Gary Monk with us then. Had a lot of money to spend, he brought in a lot of players and the guys, whether it was just because he was inconsistent picking 11 every week or whether they just didn't have the faith in the guy, full stop. We found that too.
Well, we've been in a transitional period for like 3 transfer windows in a row. So every window we've lost players, and we've lost influential players like his captain,
Conor Hurrian.
Summer, January before
massive loss that.
And we've only spent £3 million this year, so we've got to be kind of realistic of where we are in the league. Like we all said at the start of the season, if we stay up,
you'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
So then, sort of,
we don't want to be like that. We want to be pushing.
You want to build on.
I'm fed up with just being a team that stays up every year. I want to have a bit more ambition. I mean, new owners in club now.
Are they ambitious then?
They are.
They're
a team that wants to.
I mean, as owner,
to be competing. And
I mean, come on,
top 10.
You know, you're not a small club. You know, you're
not a massive club.
No, you're not. But you're very similar to Boro. You know, obviously we've got backing, as we were talking about with Gibson and stuff, and you maybe have just got that now. But you know, you're a club that could back you could have a 35,000 seat stadium with people coming to watch a game every week.
I don't know if we'd get 35,000 watching us.
In the Premiership, maybe? No.
I honestly don't know.
I think at the minute we're more concerned about getting Championship status for 3 or 4
and being
years.
solid then and having players.
Being a team like a Preston and a Millwall and a Brentford that's overachieved.
That's a good point. Preston, I think, would be a very good template, wouldn't it? Because they seem to be there, they seem to go on runs at certain points in the season every year with an average squad. This year they're kind of doing it at the right time, but
sometimes you don't have to have best players to be able to get up there. If you've got a team that can play together, a bit similar. I mean, when we went up to Premier League 20 odd year ago, pretty sure we didn't have best of players in league.
I remember.
They
were a team. He was unbelievable.
We're really looking for a team that's, well, our principles are simple. We want lads that want to play for the shirt, play for the town, and as long as they put an hard-working performance, even if we lose 3 or 4-0, and as long as we know that they put an effort in the shifting, we don't care. It's just been too inconsistent this season where we've had players that have not been putting the bit in, and then that's turned into results. And like you've been saying, we've been so inconsistent even over 90 minutes. We've been on top and we've been competing against most teams, but we haven't been taking our chances. And teams, when they get theirs, they have.
Somebody who came onto my channel the other day at Nail on Edward says we've been poor in games, but I don't think a team's hammered us, have they?
Well, we've not been hammered. And had a 2-2 and went right.
2-2. That went 2-1 after about 10 minutes.
October, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can remember that. I think we took lead in first minute.
I mean, the thing is, the stat with us, what we've been good at this season is when we do take the lead, we don't lose. I think the 13 games we've gone 1-0 up this season, we've won every one of them games. That's our strong point. So, you know, that part of the season was maybe you know, with a game like that at Barnsley was another one of them games where we were still trying to, again under Monk, find some form, and maybe
hangover, weren't you?
we were expecting to come and get a 3 points. You know, no disrespect.
Yeah.
No, but we couldn't.
No, it's ideal. We've done it, haven't we? We've gone to Burton other week. They came here and bet us 2-1. We were saying it's 3 points, because they were bottom at league and they bet us.
No,
you can't take any game for granted in this league.
Toughest league outside the Premiership in world football.
I'd probably agree.
Because what you find in this league is you have a mixture of Premiership teams that have come down, those teams what are established Championship teams, and then teams that are coming up from League One who are on a high, who can do something, as we've seen with Sheffield United and Bristol City. And then you've got us who think that they have the rights to go back up. I don't think that we do, but we've got the backing to do it. And then we're still just treading water with these teams when you've got. So it's a right mismatch.
It's a really competitive league, which is I think it's just as good as Premier League, if I'm honest. And in the last few years, it's actually become near enough like a second Premier League. We amount of teams that used to be up there who aren't anymore.
Look at teams like Derby, Forest, Middlesbrough,
Sunderland,
Sheffield Wednesday. You know, you're saying it like that. You know, it's littered with teams.
They were some of the biggest teams.
Totally agree with you. So I mean, on that then, so where you guys are then, obviously you're talking about people like Adam Hamill and how you've had players bought in by Heckingbottom that haven't really been, he hasn't been neutralised, maybe because then you've had your new guy come in again.
Well, I think with the 15 players we brought in, we would say 7 or 8 of them aren't good enough for this league. In hindsight, I think it were kind of a panic buying in summer.
Just
we didn't have the players. Because we let that many go, we had that many players from the previous season that were on loan that had to go back. We had to start all over again. And Heckingbottom, as soon as the start of the season, it was a negative atmosphere, wasn't it? It was very depressing.
Really, so you've had that straight away to contend with.
From the start of the season, he's like been saying, we're not good enough, and I think that's rubbed off on the players.
So really, you've had, I mean, I have read a few things about Heckingbottom, and I had read a few snippets about, actually, just that I was going to bring that up with you, actually, about how, if your manager's coming in and instantly he's telling everybody, I think there's a way when somebody comes in and goes, look, don't set your sights too high, we'll have a great go this year, but there's a positive way of being negative. And I think he's just coming and being negative for negative sake, saying, whoa, we're not good enough. Well, you don't tell your players that.
No.
You certainly don't tell your fans that, because the people who are more realistic than anybody else in the football club are the fans. Because
what were happening in January, he brought his players in. He brought 6 players in. 3 of them personally came to work with him, and then he left a week later.
Then he goes to Leeds. So
there's no loyalty there. And
on the day that he left, he took training on the Monday morning,
knowing full well he was going to Leeds.
Contacted by Leeds, and he joined Leeds that afternoon.
So then there's something going on there, maybe, where the behind the scenes, then that everything's not as calm and as everybody pushing in the right direction. Then maybe
we have always said that I always think that the club are quite secretive in the way that they work.
Right.
So there are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, like
you never know.
There's a way of being confidential, but at the same time, like what Luke says, we don't seem to be last ones to know, if you know what I mean. But I mean, we Heckingbottom, I think the man we've got in now, Jose Marias, is doing okay for what he's got.
Do you think there's potential then for next season for you?
I hope so. I hope so.
I hope so. We've got a good nucleus of a young set of players that want to play for him, and that's the difference.
Well, that's what you need.
I think in the summer we need to spend. We need to invest, because our fans keep saying all the time,
get a marquee signing.
We can't spend. You know, look at other clubs that spent a lot of money, but investment, you get results out of that. In this league, you've got to get quality. You've got to spend some money.
And William coming in,
which you've had with Barnes, haven't you?
Well, with Barnes.
A really good player.
Gardner and Williams, who you'll see tomorrow. Start nearly every game.
Well, they're solid.
Signings.
They're solid.
They're loans though, and
they're loans, so they're going to go back. So then, like in summer, we're back to square one again. I mean, if he likes what he sees in, and we could maybe see him come in permanent. You know what I mean? I think we tried bidding for Joe Williams in January, didn't we? But that got turned down by Everton. So obviously that shows that they rate him. He's got the potential. He seems, and you can tell he's a young lad with that bit of inexperience. But for what he's doing, he's doing all right for us. In the Championship, he's doing all right. He just seems to. I think he needs that somebody at side of him to calm him down. A bit of an older head, if you know what I mean. But going back to like with Heckingbottom going, I think in a way you know, it was time for something new anyway. We weren't getting results, and we're seeing.
It's the way he went.
Yeah.
That wound a lot of fans up. It's the way that he.
That 1 minute he was all
from the town. He was one of us. He was one of us.
So you'd expect a little bit more,
just a bit more class and the way that like he made a letter, like he weren't even in a statement. It was just like a quick letter, like a week later, and that was only because the fans had basically said, "Why have you not even told us why you're leaving?" Because there were. I think we were 17 games. We hadn't won a game, and there were fans that wanted him out. The majority wanted him to stay in, and they still supported him.
Yes.
We were loyal to him no matter through that bad run.
Anybody else would have been sacked. I think it was because he were from town and
then he had
knew
the
fans.
with the fans.
I didn't want him to see him get sacked because I liked him. You know what I mean? But the football, I think, appalling. We weren't getting results. It was time for a change.
So that's now what Leeds have got to look forward to. On a positive,
like I said about Sunderland before the video, we were speaking about the North East clubs. Leeds is a poison chalice in my opinion. They're not Leeds. Obviously, I know we're talking about a different club here.
No, you're all right.
Eckingbottom's gone into a club where there's a lot of egos there.
The chairman's the biggest one, Lee Anzini, and he's terrible.
The fans
they'll not wear him long.
The fans didn't even want him in to start with.
No.
And the football that they're playing doesn't suit the Leeds way.
No.
And I don't think he'll last till the end of the season.
Yeah. That reminds me a little bit of the Alex McLeish when he went from Villa to Birmingham. And then he took Birmingham down. And the fans
went down.
The fans did not want him instantly.
Yeah.
And I just always wonder, no matter how good a manager is, when he goes to a club like that, he's had his head turned thinking Leeds are a massive club, blah blah blah. And they are a big club, it's about building something yourself.
Yeah.
And who's to say 5 years here, with the backing of your new chairman and stuff like that you couldn't have built something brilliant under him, a local guy, knows what the fans want, and then move forward. But obviously, you know, we all know how fickle football is.
I think with a new ownership, I think it was time for them to put their own stamp on the club, and Maurice has worked with a lot of. He's coached all over the world, and he was Mourinho's number two.
Coach with Mourinho,
and he's a lot more knowledgeable about the game, and he's not scared to make subs. And I think that was with us why we've lost so many games this season, is we made subs.
Weren't using
too late.
I totally agree with that. So, if he reacts to something, he changes it. You know what I mean?
We have the similar thing with Pulis, where whether you like him or you loathe him, his energy as a person, as a man, as a guy, brilliant, manager, brilliant.
Down that line, innit?
You may not agree with what he produces at the end of it, but as a footballing man, can't fault him what he's done in the Premiership. And he's got the same thing, the energy that he shows on the sideline, second to none, and you want that. But what I was going to ask you there was actually, do you feel as if maybe now then with a guy like Morales in charge, a bit more variety, he's obviously got world knowledge. Recruitment,
I think regarding recruitment,
you're going to get better players in,
we might
a bit more.
What Luke said, he's worked with Mourinho, so we might end up getting a couple of players on loan from Man United. So then he'll have contacts all over the world, won't he?
We'll have the super agent on as well, won't he? He'll know all about him as well. You know, this guy can bring it in, but that's what has happened to Wolves. If we're honest here, you know, Wolves are a big club, right? But they've been a small club for a long time, and it's almost this last 18 months, 12 months. They've gone out. They've got the consort. They've got rid of him. They've got money behind them, and that's a Premiership team there, right there. They've got some Premiership players.
With the champions elect, aren't they? Really?
Without a doubt. With a Premiership manager now, that could be done if the recruitment policy's right. That's all down to Mendes, people like that. If it's done right, then why can't you have that?
Well, that's what we want, innit? We want to be a bit more ambitious. I always say this too, don't I?
We want to be ambitious. We want to be ambitious. I think we will not go as crazy as what Wolves have. I think I'll be honest, we'll not. We'll be very sensible.
And that was just, that's the sort of pinnacle of the example. But it's kind of, it can be done.
Yeah, of course it can. Brentford, they're similar size club to us. They've got an owner in that's invested a bit.
Got some really good players. I reckon if I were that Jota who left them and went to Birmingham, I'd be gutted.
I mean, when we did the review for the preview for the Birmingham, we were talking about Jota was one of the main men that we mentioned, and he was good the other night. He was their star man, but as you've just said there, that's something's gone on there. He's obviously been. He must. I don't know what he was going to find at Birmingham. I think somebody's like to
wages, isn't it? Like
probably wages. We had Mark Roberts.
It's the wages.
Our centre defender. I don't know if he played against Charlotte on Saturday, but he was our best player last season. And what I always say is, you can always go to a club, but that club isn't going to play the style of football that you want.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So we've seen players leave, like Amel left first time, went to Wolves, didn't work out.
Ended up at Middlesbrough on loan as well.
He did, did nothing at us.
That goes back again, grass isn't always greener. And
but
sometimes
he was brilliant for you the first time.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, brilliant.
What he got in his move, obviously.
Yeah. Well, when he came back, I mean, he came back. Yeah, when he came back in, we were in League One. He were brilliant, bottom at league. We'd not won for God knows how long. He came back and he helped change it around a bit, and he were good. And like now, I think maybe he's lost that yard or two with him. It's in his 30s. Is he good enough? I still think he's a player. I'll be honest.
Good passer of the ball. Is he not a different another position?
He seems to. You said it yesterday. He seems to beat a man and then maybe go back and try and beat him again.
Take him on.
But I wonder if he's been rooming with Traore then. Because that's Traore's fit. Although Traore can, you know, but
he's not as quick as Traore.
Yeah, but
it's all there football with Traore.
He's an impact. He can bring an impact. He can just. It can be crap.
So maybe off a bench then he would be an important player.
It can be crap for God knows how long, but then do something special. He's still got that in him. He can put a decent ball into the box once every so often. But when it's a good ball, it's spot on and it's brilliant.
I think if we stay up this season, with obviously our owner died in last month. Patrick Crine. We've had new owners. Ecky's gone. We've had a transitional period again. Even from last year. So if we've
had a lot going on.
We've had so much going on. I think if we stay up, it'll be a magnificent season.
And then you build for next year.
Start again. Get his own players in, reassess it, and then we look to be a bit more solid. Because we've got a team that's good enough to stay in this league.
And without a doubt.
We've got potential as well. There's a lot of young lads that have had to learn on the job this year. I think about 8 or 9 at the first team haven't played even in this league before. So they've had to learn on the job and learn against teams like your Boroughs, your Wolves, your Villas. So they've had to learn from these experiences. So in the long run, it'll stand us in good stead.
Definitely.
And it just goes to show, you know, that I mean, with manager at minute, he's done all right. I mean, he's come in. We won at Birmingham. I mean, we lost at Cardiff second half. We were better side. Like I said to you.
You were 2-1 was it?
Like I said to you, we were.
One more goal and we scored there.
Like I said to you, poor first half, but second half we came out. And there's players playing for now that under Heckingbottom were absolutely atrocious.
So then you've seen that turnaround there.
He seems to know how to get best out of some players. So
then in the long term, as you're saying, you kind of, which is maybe we can write this season off now.
That's a write-off season.
Nothing, is
as long as we stay up.
I think it's like
be back around like
transitional season, and if we stop up, then hopefully next season we can push on and build for sort of a mid-table finish. Do you know what I mean? Gradually build it, because that's what when they came in, new owners in just before Christmas, they said they weren't going to throw money at it, which we were happy with, because that's not how we do it here. It would just gradually build it, and then eventually maybe 4 or 5 seasons. All right, we're going for it this season. We're going to have a go, and hopefully, you know, that's what they're here for. They're here for long term. And
then once you put that foundation
against bigger teams, we always turn up. We always we play Wolves at home.
We've got a 0-0 draw.
Obviously, us earlier on in the season, always saying we're a big team, but one of the bigger ones touted in this league.
So like tomorrow.
So it seems then to you, what we've struggled with this season, as I've said this, we can't take points off teams around us. But the bottom 7, we've took points all day long off them.
Sunderland away.
Yeah, we did. Well, anybody.
Birmingham,
won away at Burton. So we haven't had a bad record against teams below us. We've been in positions against teams like your QPRs, your Ipswich's, where they've had one shot on target
and scored it.
It's been very tight. We haven't been hammered by any teams at all, have we?
No, I don't think we have. No.
Villa away and Derby at home. We say we've been hammered.
Villa away. I mean, I think it was more defensively Villa away when we conceded 3 with that goal straight after we'd got a goal back.
And at times, but that's again going to experience.
Well, let me ask you. I was going to say, you as a fan going to Aston Villa before a game. You know, you never write any game off, because we want to be positive no matter who you are, and anyone can beat anyone.
Never write it off, but we knew it was going to be an hard day.
This isn't our fight, this game, although whatever happens. So you've probably, to me, from it seems if you've taken quite a lot of confidence out of them results, maybe. You've done better than you thought.
There's positives to take for it, even if we lose. There's positives to take now. Do you know what I mean? Like Tuesday, their Tuesday cold. Well, actually, it weren't that cold at Cardiff, but going down there on a Tuesday, night. First half again poor, but second half. we just need to find that where we can play like that from the start to the end, do a professional job. Because I mean, we've got Ollie McBurney now, who we've mentioned, he's scoring for us.
But
the one thing as well, I don't want to just look at him for goals. I want to look at everybody.
Of course, which is a bit like us.
We stand up and be counted because we're fighting. There's other teams down there.
There's other teams that have got other goal scorers.
For their lives, financially staying in this league is massive for us. So we need other players to be chipping in as well. Because we did same with Barnes, didn't we, earlier in the season?
Yeah.
He had a really good couple of games. And then when he stopped scoring or assisting,
we stopped scoring.
We've had that similar thing now with Assombalonga for the first half of the season.
Like, I'm really surprised he's not even playing for you.
It's kind of, for me, this is where one of my things with Pulis kind of pricks up when people say he's made us better, he's made us more aggressive, he's lifted the tempo and he's picked the first 11 that's structured, but he's ended up stumbling across people playing well. He's made Traore play well when I don't think that's a masterstroke. It's good man management, and then he stumbled across Bamford when he didn't want the players that were assisting us. And we were talking about Braithwaite's and stuff. And I've mentioned this before, but the players that were doing anything for us, he kind of took out. Fabio and Christie were doing stuff, and Christie was one of our highest assists. Braithwaite had scored second highest goals, and yet then players come out of our team, and he stumbles across. He didn't want Bamford up front. He wanted Gested. But now Bamford's there because we've got no choice. So is that a Pulis Pulis actually influencing that team, or is it just happened that way? So, but again, you know, that's football. I've talked about that a lot on our show, and I won't keep emphasising that, Boro fans. But it's kind of, it seems as if it's a funny thing in football where players can play well for somebody, but it's not actually part of the plan.
I imagine Neil Warnock a lot, Pulis.
Yeah.
He'll get a team up, like Warnock's took about 3 or 4 teams up, and Pulis took Stoke up. They played awful football to get there.
Terrible.
Kept in Premier League. Is that what? Obviously, from your point of view, obviously, like I've said to you before the show, I've got a few mates who are from up your end, and they say that they want to play good football and they'd rather stay in this league than play football and go up.
There's managers that we've mentioned. I'd love to see Lee Johnson at our club.
Yeah.
You know, because if that guy can do what he's done, as you mentioned with you guys, when he had with your team that Eckenbottom took over, that he's produced it in 2 teams there really that have been unfashionable.
Look at Wilder.
Chris Wilder's another one.
Yeah.
You know, there's coaches out there. There's a guy at Luton Town, I forget his manager, Nathan Jones, who's doing wonders there, and they're playing football that you have. Wolves have done it this season, but for me, I agree with that theory, because a long ball direct team of football will only take you so far. And all these fans that are saying, let's just get in the Premiership, I guarantee you now, when we get there and you're bored, shitless of watching us finish 10th every week, you'll think, I want another manager.
You can't just say, let's just get there, because you've got to be stable.
It doesn't happen, does it? We had this under Karank, everybody said,
that's why he went down, really.
Exactly, there's no long-term goal.
It's
like, and that's why I said to you guys, sorry, but I started on me rant now. That's all I was going to say when we were talking before about how, as a long-term goal, the money we've had thrown at the club in 10 years, we should have had a foundation and a template where you can build constantly. Watford have done it. They have 5 managers in about 6 seasons, but it doesn't change how they play. Swansea do it. Clubs do it. It's the European way where you bring a manager in to suit your play. But there's only so far playing long ball football will take you, and it'll get the point where either people won't turn up and watch the games, they'll want another man in, or we won't be successful playing that way anyway.
It's that one-dimensional theory that with Pulis, it seems that when that long ball or that physical approach doesn't work,
what are you doing?
What you're doing next? You're not flexible.
No,
and that's the same with
there's no plan B, is there? There's no plan B.
That's totally right, and we're relying now on Traore, who's come out of nowhere because he's decided to.
It's a poor game tomorrow, though. If he doesn't
exactly,
turn up
that's right.
But exactly the same with us, though. At minute with McBurney.
That's where the synergy is. You know, because although, and I don't mean this in any disrespect at all, but you were a smaller club than us right now as it stands today, and yet we'll
not be thinking right.
No, but you were in a similar place where you can't rely on one player, and we shouldn't be in that position.
Yeah, you rely on your team. I mean, I know
it's basic football, isn't it?
I mean, I was reading in our local paper earlier that it says, oh, McBurney, you know, he knows that it's been a team effort to get them goals, but as I've said, I want to see other players. What last midfielder to score for us? Probably Barnes. I bet it were Barnes.
Can't remember.
But I bet it were Barnes. But I don't want us coming up to Boro tomorrow looking for a draw. Do you know what I mean? Because we're not good enough. We can't do it. We need to go at it from goal.
Yeah, and treat it like a cup tie, really.
There's another good point, though, because how many teams have we seen this season? Rochdale, against Tottenham.
Spurs,
Wigan against Man City. We took the game to this team who everybody said you haven't got to.
At the end of the day, it's who turns up in this league. If you have the desire,
you'll win.
Yeah,
and that's what happened with us against Leeds United. We turned up against a team that I thought were going to be decent. We turned up, they never, and we steamrolled them. And
plan B, did
no, but everyone.
I've not got one plan B.
Tell you what, I wish I'd known that before and I've had a bet on.
That's the thing with Pulis. When he first came in, my mate said I didn't even want him in because he's a Boro fan, and then obviously he seemed to have settled in a bit.
Leeds fans have said same about Eki, haven't they?
Gary Monk though, the thing is with Gary Monk, he came down here. Going forward, you're one of the best teams that I've seen. But at the back, you were very vulnerable.
But that's what I'm saying with Gary Monk was, if he could have just settled on a back four and said, "There's my team," and roll it out.
Never kept it the same.
No, and that then transcended through to the players. That uneasiness of, "Well, am I playing? If I play well, am I playing?" Nobody knew. But yeah, I mean, Pulis, rate him as a guy, rate him as a man manager, respect what he's done in the Premiership, respect what he does, but his style of football is built on relegation-threatened teams who need to score goals. We ain't going to build. Oh, we will, because we ain't building a foundation on that way of playing, and it's not going to be very exciting to play. Like you've just said, Tony Pulis built that team at Stoke City, and they were remarkable for what they did, but they couldn't go any further. Now, obviously, when he left, Hughes was coming and trying to evolve that team and bringing footballers. He got back, and he's realised that, as you said there, Luke, you can't just get, let's just get there, and it'll all happen. You can't just change a full squad's ethos and bring in a full squad of players. 10 footballers to change a team over one season, over two. It's going to happen over three.
I want to say, even like Newcastle, look at Benitez, took them up, and this season, they've had the same team that took them up, which is why they're where they are, because they haven't invested.
They've got
championship players, and that's why I'm surprised Benitez is still there, because he's kept saying, "I want money."
Well, I think
you could be guilty of doing that.
I think it's down to you've got a good relationship with fans.
I think he has, and I think he kind of got snookered. I mean, as just speaking as a football man, you're not as somebody that doesn't like Newcastle, because that's just a pantomime of being a football fan. But of course it is. It's banter, it's crack. But as a football man, he stayed for that reason, for the fans, because they are good fans. They are. There's no doubt about it. But I think he kind of got snookered, where I think Ashley was going to write a cheque out right until 12 o'clock on the last day of the transfer window. Then he kind of went, "Has the clock ticked past 12 yet? Right, check shut." Checkbook shut, phone's turned off. You can't get hold of me. You're not going to leave now, are you? Because you're not going to do that to the fans. And he's been, but he won't be there next year.
No,
so hopefully he'll be at Boro. But
if you'll keep him up, and then he'll be out.
I can't. Well, I don't know if he'd come to Boro.
I'm joking. It's just me being stupid. But look, what we'll do is we've had a great chat with these two lads today.
Get Simon Grace with the Luke.
Simon Grace.
Simon Grace.
I'll get Chris Coleman, won't you?
Wow. Well, he's going to be out of a job unless he's going to be doing a bit of admin next season, isn't he, at Sunderland? Unless he'll be putting paper clips on all of those jobs he's sacking, on all of them sheets. He's letting go
back and ruin as a player.
Oh, wicked! Tell you what, it's rosy for Boro. So look, this has been the preview show. This has been Luke.
Yep. Cheers, mate.
That's been Luke. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you. Big up Tykes TV, by the way, Boro fans. Great channel.
We'll be there tomorrow.
These guys will be there tomorrow. We've just got one more thing to talk about. Obviously, the prediction, which we haven't talked about, guys. No. Score tomorrow, realistically?
I think I'll be happy with point, so I'm going to say one apiece, me.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with, I've got to say, McBurney to score. Well, I'd like somebody else to score.
Who would you score for Boro, maybe? Give us a B.
Bamford's one of the players I hate to watch. He's like
Bamford. I think at the minute it's same as McBurney. He's in form. So
well, I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say 2-1 Boro, McBurney, Bamford. Maybe an IR off a corner, because I think we need to be getting everyone up off corners.
We're quite vulnerable from set pieces. I think I'll put a bet from your on to score first 5 minutes of the second half.
Oh, I will do. I'm going to do that. I never win any bets
because we've conceded. I'd like to think
Cardiff overnight. What's same?
Straight
Cardiff.
After half
we just made a sub and all.
Are you watching Tony Pulis?
Christoph Nashmulner came on, who we signed in January. He was a good looking to be a good little player. He came on at half time, second half when it were 1-0, and then obviously to try and change game. But then when Cardiff go straight up and score, Tasmed 10 times harder, innit? So we've just got to get that out of his game.
Ironic.
As I've said, get that out of his game, play for full 90. if we're gonna, we'll probably concede. You know, hopefully we don't, and we can keep a clean sheet. It'll be a nice clean sheet for confidence. But we've just got to make sure we don't concede too early, because if we concede too early, heads drop.
First goals,
and you know what I mean.
For either side,
I do. I think we score first, it's game over. As I've said with the stats that we've got this season, I don't like hammering stats, but some of them are good to look at. And as I've said, 13 wins out of going ahead 13 times is you can't argue with that. But I mean, so
for me, it's how we set up. If we've got a midfield that's, because we
4-4-1-1 maybe.
I think we'll go 4-3-3. But what I mean is we've got players in that midfield that they're good at doing the job in the midfield and being battling players. So I think it's going to be one in the midfield. But we need to be a bit more flexible, and when we have the ball, get forward, because we have a tendency to just pass across constantly and go nowhere.
We had a bit of that with Karanka.
I think it'll be a fairly open game tomorrow.
I think it will be. I think our full-backs will try and get forward, and I think if we get a first goal, I think that confidence will set us up. But I think if it's 1-0 to you in first 15 minutes, I can see it being a long afternoon. But I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm going for a... I never say that other team's going to win, so I'm going to say 1-0 Reds.
1-0 Reds.
Fair do, but we'll be in red tomorrow.
Instead of goal scorer.
McBurney. But I can see your lots having chances from set pieces with Pulis.
Do you think if you can shut Traore down, do you think that's going to be part of your game plan?
I think that'll
got to be. When last
time we man marked
one of the best players. That's something that seems to have gone out of football now, man marking.
True, we've suffered that a lot, and that's one of our bugbears.
Take their threat out, and that's it.
Well, I totally agree. That's been one of our bugbears with Tony Pulis this season, is defending off set pieces, which we've been poor off. Which we shouldn't be. When set pieces, we defend zonal marking all the time. We never put people on posts, and it worries me. The space that we had against Leeds, for example, at home, from a set piece, we had everybody here, this side of the back post, and there was so much ground. And I just think a clever manager making players with late runs, or somebody who's a bit savvy in the air, that'll punish us. So maybe it'll be one on set pieces.
I can remember when you came to here and I were watching your fan interviews after the game, a lot were complaining about the zonal marking thing, conceding from set pieces.
But not under Pulis, I wouldn't expect it. But
I think it'll be an entertaining game. I think it'll be a good game.
I think it'll be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
Like the Riverside anyway.
Yeah,
it's a good looking ground.
It's my first trip to Borough and all tomorrow.
Well, you'll enjoy it. There's the Gregs.
If we come home for 3 points.
That's all that matters then. Have you been watching? That's like everything I've mentioned that at Greg's.
What else do you need,
sausage, bean and cheese melt.
Tell you what, you turn up before...
That's all I want.
There's some decent boozers in Navi. You turn up before 10:30, you're definitely getting a sausage and bacon bun and a coffee for £2.25.
But it'll be a good game tomorrow, as long as I do respect Borough. The similar principles to us,
very
hard-working,
small,
loyal fans.
Very much so.
So I always, with my mates, been a lot of hardcore Borough fans. I do keep an eye out. But so tomorrow 1-0, but I'll be happy with a point.
Well, anybody would be.
This stage of the season.
I hope we win. You guys hope you win.
I mean, if I can just add in though, we do keep saying
we're fed up.
We keep getting fed up of saying we'll be happy with point. We really need to be looking at 3. Yeah, we do, but we just like be realistic. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? End of the day, Middlesbrough away. Getting a point, it ain't a bad result.
No,
it's not a bad result.
Now we've turned our own form around a bit, and we're starting to have that. We're on that run. We've got that confidence. So, like I say, if you'd have played us when we played you at home, us at home, there might have been a draw. You might have nicked something, but well, great. Look, it's been a pleasure, guys.
Thank you very much.
Well, the thing that I just need to do just before I wrap this up is ask Robbie's prediction, because I haven't asked him.
3-1.
3-1, I'm going to go 2-1 as I've said, so 4-1, 2-1 for me, so brilliant. I hope it's just a good day for us, you guys are saying for you. But the other thing is we've got a competition on, guys, so if you want to win 2 season tickets for next season, could be Premiership football. Doubt it, but could be Premiership football.
I don't know.
For Barnsley.
For Barnsley. Could be Premiership football. If you want to get involved, you need to get on and be one of our subscribers. Like, share, and subscribe to our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Otherwise, guys, that's been the show. We'll see you next week for Brentford. So, peace out. It's in the blood.